Listen. Education and politics. You need to know more about them. Entertainment and these things. You need to know more about them. This year, na my year.
The cradle of life is subtle with events to undo. Your strength lies in what you can do. The metamorphosis between life and death shows the blueprint of man's instinct, and our realities reveals the imprints we made in the past. From dawn to dusk, why only hustle and bustle when life comes with a push? Why not take a break to ponder on our main capabilities or peculiarities as a tactics to stand firm when the real competition of our world begins? But only those who stand out to proceed and succeed to take the lead while others plead for their needs. Courage is the muscle we use to speak, to subdue those empty voices of illicit imagination saying you're not enough. On the battlefield of the mind. The battle we fight has only two possibilities: to succeed or fail. Apparently not to succeed is to fail, which is just a first attempt in learning. Fail, first attempt in learning. Learning to be fitly fortified to survive the tug of war where victory is sure. The in-depth knowledge you've got about your identification gives you self-justification for the unification of your physical and mental development. So when the storm of life is up, when fierce wind is about to blow, study to know that you may grow mature enough to unlock the doorways with keys of tomorrows engrafted in your hands. Staying awake shouldn't stop you from dreaming. Staying awake shouldn't stop you from dreaming, because nothing revolutionary was created by dreaming small and binding to limitation. So you can't be a sleeping drone and expect to be enthroned. Until you thrive, you can't arrive. Until you obey the law, you can't be a lord. When you obey the rules, you become a ruler to measure your track record. So TikTok, the time ticks in this hustle and bustle. Even when you encounter an attack, you can counter the attacker. Because who they ground, no they fall, but person will fall if you break leg. And that you hear a gunshot during war means say you still stay alive. So in the face of insecurity, we've got to change our battleground from the mind like a fertile land where you plant the seed of greatness and reap the reward of bountiful harvest to become a champion. All that is gold does not glitter. So even if the problem is common to all, the attitude to solve it determines your altitude. So give your hope feathers to fly high like the pop of bubbles, rising high like shooting stars across the night to silence the thunderstorm and usher in a joyous daybreak that ends the long night of expectation. I need not to dress to address the need. I need not to dress to address the need of laughing in the face of Wahala till the pain of an entity becomes an empty thing on this battleground where the crownless can still become a king. If the world is your oyster, you've got to share your gift to become a superstar, because time is a currency to purchase our desires. So what is beauty without virtues? Handsomeness without impeccable traits? I would say to every man, if you must be a king, you must find your kingdom. To be a virtuous woman, is to know you are not a lesser human. Being a beauty queen and a man of royalty is to have a higher identity because you're worth more than a sexual commodity. And be more productive than being a reproductive entity. In the world filled with too many lies, blinding so many eyes, we've got to be wise, not to subject our body to lustful disguise. Every wrong relationship, every toxic relationship could be like a dice, played to deny you an opportunity to arise. Please do not compromise, because we are entities sent from eternity to humanity to bless human entities. Godspeed.
Welcome back. So earlier on, we had Ashaka Victory open the show with a fantastic spoken word about resilience. Now, here at Tegan, we like to change things up every now and then. So I am going to give him some words on the spot and see how really, really good he is as a spoken word artist. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Are you sure?
Let's try.
Okay. Let's see. Can he do it? Let's go.
Beyond the mind's forged manacles of limitation, let knowledge give you an edge for the education. And despite this sensation we feel, not as a pollination, but to get our coordination of a perfect situation.
Let's talk about male resilience and what it means to be a man in the 21st century. With me is Nollywood actor Wole Ojo. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Wole, what does it mean to be resilient as a man, as a Nigerian man in 2023?
Pardon me, I had to laugh at the question because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's not something that can really be summarized in a phrase, considering the society we find ourselves in. I have a friend who once said, being in Nigerian, and this is not me, being Nigerian, this is not me taking shots at, my people. You're already, set backwards, compared to people in other regions. So we have so many things going against us. And as men, considering the fact that our strong African background, we're raised to, be strong providers and protectors. There's so many things working against you. So it takes a lot to keep giving, keep putting in as an average Nigerian man. And there's a whole lot that goes into, the work behind the scene. You're talking about, your emotional balance, the ability to always pick up yourself, the working environment, the basically everything just set up to work against you. So it's a lot, yeah.
A lot going on, and I must say also, it's very important that you have a tribe of people supporting you. And for you, your parents were very supportive of you. In fact, I hear that it influenced your choice to go into the movie industry.
Look, I would say I was very fortunate growing up. I had parents who were very, very supportive, who listened. My dad happened to be, he served in the force. He was a police officer, and my mom was, typical businesswoman. She laid her hands on, anything. But I was lucky in the sense that my dad sort of recognized my passion growing up, and he would, do things and get me materials that sort of like formed the blocks of what I am today. And my mom, she's my biggest supporter. Whatever I wanted to do, she was at my back. She was always pushing. So I guess I was lucky to have parents who looked beyond because at the time, every parent would say, okay, you should be a doctor, an architect, or an engineer, and all that. And I guess when I started to be definite with what I wanted to do, because at some point in my life as a kid, I wanted to go to school for law, which I still would do. I've always wanted to do that, and I will do it eventually. But as I grew older, I started to see that, okay, this is what I would really, really love to do. I have a passion for this, and I feel like I thrive. And my parents just supported me, and I'm grateful for that.
Part of also having supportive parents also is knowing how to stick through it, regardless of what's going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And your first break for many of us was on the Amstel Malta box office reality show. For many of us.
Okay.
And from that point up until now, looking back, what would you say to yourself?
I say to myself, come so far, done good. But personally, I think I'm my own biggest critic, and I sort of like expect a lot from myself. I put that pressure on myself in a positive way. So where I'm at, I would say it's not where I want to be, and that's part of the things that part of the thing that keeps me going to say, okay, you don't rest on your laurels. You keep pushing the bounds. So, but coming from the Amstel Malta box office to this point, I'll say satisfactory enough, but you could do more. You could do more. Yeah.
Speaking about doing more, actors always have to act the part. And as a man, do you feel that when you are not on set, you have to act the part, whether it's sort of like being tough, whether it's sort of like interesting? Why?
No, I don't. I would say I'm lucky enough to have gone to the falls of the university to further my education with the practice as an actor, because I graduated theatre, graduate from the Creative Arts Department in Unilag, University of Lagos, Akoka, And I've been able, throughout my career, I've been fortunate to work with, seasoned professionals. And I've been able to, like tap different things and techniques to be able to give myself a certain balance when it comes to, reality, differentiate reality from make believe. So when I'm at work, I know I'm doing this thing that I'm passionate with, that puts bread on my table. And then when I am Wole Ojo, I do Wole Ojo myself, it's a different being entirely. And I keep a pretty, small, close-knit circle of people that are dear to me. So I would say they also help me stay grounded. So I'm good.
Besides the small circle that you have, what other tips would you recommend for people, especially men, who have to juggle so much, whether it's family, whether it's businesses, and find it so hard to see through all that chaos?
I actually don't like to make recommendations because I always say we don't know it all. But from my own personal experience, I would say always stay true to yourself. I've come to a point in life where I realize most problems, not every, we face in life is because we tend not to be true to ourselves. If you take a deep look at it, especially, let's speak financial, for instance, you will only be perceived a certain way, or certain expectations will be placed on you if you're not true about where you're at. So if you do a clean sweep through your life as a human being, man or woman, well, we're talking about men here. You do a clean sweep through your life and you realize that if I stay true to myself, when things are white with me, it's white. When they're black, it's black. When it's red, that way everybody around you who sees you, who relates with you, will take you for what you are, because there's no, there are no shortcuts. It's just you. So that helps you stay grounded. That helps propels you. That limits expectations. What you see is what you get.
Let's transition and talk about Nollywood and the fact that, there's so much talk about Nollywood being a clique. Same people, same actors, same actresses. As a man, who's, very much popular to so many of us, how do you find sort of like mentors or even navigating the space that is Nollywood?
Okay, this is it's a sensitive topic and it's broad, but I will do my best to, when people speak about clique, I sort of laugh at it. And I say this, it is only natural, right? But people tend to look at cliques from a negative perspective. Look at life. You've lived your life. You've grown up. There's certain people you're comfortable working with. There's certain people you're comfortable relating with. It happens in every sphere of life. Dangote would have certain kind of businessmen who he has done businesses with before. That when he hears that, okay, there's a certain opportunity within this field, and he knows this person is a master in this field, his first point of contact will be that person. So it's only natural when a producer or a director has worked with a certain actor and the actor comes on set, not causing some sort of problems or whatever, and giving their all. It's only natural when there's a next job that suits that actor for the producer to think that actor or that actress first, right? So cliques in a way are built subconsciously. Subconsciously, it's just people comfortable working with certain kind of people. Now, as an individual, how do you navigate this different, for lack of a better word, I don't like calling it cliques, for lack of a better word, these different cliques. It is you making yourself available and honing your skills to a point where you come in contact with these different professionals. They appreciate you for what you have to offer. They appreciate your dexterity and your input or whatever. And then they want to continue to deal with you. And you just find yourself that, okay, someday in the future, and people are going to say, oh, all right, you seem to work with more Abudu a lot. How did you do it in the last 2-3 years? I've been trying to get in. You didn't do anything special. You just went on more set, you were professional enough, you performed well, and then they liked what you did and all that. So like I said, I don't like looking at it from a negative perspective. Just do what you have to do, be diligent enough, and make yourself available, and you'll be fine.
Showing up, but also being ready to serve.
Yes, being ready to put your best in. Yeah, you always catch the eye when you do that.
You have so many projects coming up, and I hear that you are in this new movie called Kamsi. Talk about this.
Kamsi is a project very dear to me. We filmed it 2-3 years ago. If my memories serve me right, 2-3 years ago. It's been long coming, and finally I have voice from the producer that it's going to be gracing our screens. I cannot reveal the platform yet. Yes, I can't reveal the platform yet, but it's a movie directed by Usodima Okweche, and it's a wonderful, wonderful one. It has myself, Sam Dede, Kiki Omeli, Ben Chichi, Bimbo Ademoye, Timini Ebuse. Nice. It's a very different kind of story, very emotional. So I implore everybody out there to look out for it. Kamsi. Right? Nice. It's going to be an amazing one.
Before we go, 5 years from now, what will be your story?
5 years from now, that's a question I don't like answering, because I remember when I asked that question as a 20-year-old. I said 5 years from now, I have a family, a wife, my children, I'll be a billionaire, and blah, 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 blah. We always do that. So what I like to say is 5 years from now, I will be where my abilities, God's love, and whatever support and whatever I've done I'll be there. So I don't do such projections. I just take one day at a time. Yeah.
One day at a time, baby steps.
Yeah, one day at a time.
Wole, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
having me. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. It's Tegan. We have a fantastic, amazing, extraordinary show for you. Who is the king or queen of Afro?
Hi, my name is Blessing Obasi. Keep watching the Tegan Show.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as Goldfish.
Do we need hope? Or do we need hope and actually getting the job done? One place, one show, more fun, more dance, more laughs. It only happens on Welcome back. Laughter makes their hearts grow stronger. With me is Senator Comedian.
Yeah.
The name Senator Comedian. Senator and a comedian?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so let me explain. Oftentimes people get to ask me, oh, how did you come about this name, Senator Comedian? Truth is, when I made up my mind I was going to do this, I was spoken to by a guy called Michael Ogolo. Used to be, one of those top South comedians then. So he was my contemporary in school then. He was doing theater arts in the University of Port Harcourt. I was doing theater and performing arts in the University of Jos. So he said, oh boy, you're a very good narrator, a very good actor. You can do this, you can move from this to this. And so eventually when I made up my mind, it was about that 1999 to 2000 times, So then democracy was new to us all over again, So I remember that senators were seen as, not be like now where senators, they throw chairs anyhow, they kick themselves and all that. It was something so revered. So I said to myself, okay, I like these guys. And I see that they are like models to us. So they're the ones who create the laws and all that. So I could also create the laws about what you need to laugh about. So I decided to just mold up that character. Yes.
You can create the laws about what you need to laugh about.
Yes.
Okay,
please.
well, we'll go to that. Okay,
Yeah.
so now throughout this episode, we've been talking about male resilience.
Yeah.
And, regardless of whatever someone's going through, they can always laugh. Laughter is good for just someone's mental health. How has laughter been, and comedy in general, been so helpful for you?
Mine is in it, I must say. I was born this way, I must say. A lot of people say, oh, when you're discussing with him, you're laughing, blah, blah, blah. That's their business. This is me. I know. I didn't choose it. It just chose me. I remember back in the days when I was still young, then we used to live in Bauchi State back then with my parents. So visitors come to the house. And at the end of the day, they go like, tell your mommy that so person came. And as kids then, we'll forget the name by the time our parents are around. They will start battling. What's the man's name? Or what did he say was his name? I was so good at imitating and mimicking characters then. Our parents will get to know that, this was the person who came. And eventually, it turns out that it was actually that person that came. So from, childhood, we got into that whole cocktail of this is what we're going to do. Laughter is very important to life and then to super life in Nigeria, if you know what I'm talking about. We are suffering here, so we need laughter. Or else, you just go to the hospital and check yourself in and lie down and you say you're sick. Because a lot of things go on here in Nigeria. Things don't go the regular way. So for us that, give out laughter, we give out laughter because there's need for it.
Yeah.
There's actually a big need for it in Nigeria.
There's so many social challenges, and I believe that people use laughter as a way, as a coping mechanism, but also as a therapeutic mechanism as well.
As a town hall.
Exactly. I hear that you are married to a woman from the north.
Yeah.
You two have two backgrounds.
Yeah.
And has laughter been a secret recipe to your long-time marriage?
It's not any secret recipe. When they lack anything in the house, they send you the list. There's no secret, no laughter. You have to pay what you need to pay. You have to spend what you need to spend. Family is family. In fact, my wife, what you people call coming? My wife don't even send. Are they on generator for her? So they don't send me. They help. They do housework. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm a different person at home.
Yeah.
So I'm business like me now.
Yeah,
so family life is quite different.
But I'm sure you can make her crack up every now and then.
If I want to get something off her, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do that. When I have to bribe my way, I know how to make people laugh. Yeah.
So quick question, as a comic,
Yeah.
how long does it take you to come up with a joke for a performance? Do you just say, okay, performing 2 days from now, I'll just think about the jokes, or can you come up with a joke on the spot?
Okay, so some of us, because we studied theater and performing arts, we do a lot of writing. I'm a writer on Flatmate. I'm one of those who writes what you watch on Flatmate, what you watch on Papa Benji, and what you watched on Ghana Jollof, and then some other new sitcoms and all that. So writing for us is one of our basics. So we do documentation of some of our materials, but sometimes some materials don't fit in for what you want to do. So on a daily, you need to, or rather on a regular, you need to keep creating. So what we do is, to know a very good comic, you must be very observant. You must be very observant of your environment. You get what I'm saying? So you could have your script and get to an event. It turns out that something different happened. Do you get what I'm saying? So you could get to an event and the event doesn't start until 3 hours later. You can't come and start giving them your script. You go first talk something. We could calm them down. Do you get what I'm saying? So you work in a different, so that's how it is. But on a regular, you must be able to observe your environment. It's very important. I cannot go to an Oshodi market now and start telling them how Chelsea won. Or how they lost. Or how Chelsea doesn't have a coach. Or how Arsenal, my team, is doing very well. No, that's not that's not what you're going to say.
You have to be very intentional.
Yes, you have to be very intentional. You have to look at the market. You have to look at, that woman that has been beaten by the sun. What could actually appeal to her at that time? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's very important to be very impulsive, understand and observe the environment. There are some jokes to come by divine intervention. I must be very candid with you. There are certain jokes that you just wake up and then, you stream all the things you had, the night before. Perfect.
So everyone knows that Nigeria is not an easy country. And to break into any industry, you have to be really resilient. Now, my question to you is, online skit makers are, penetrating the industry and the scene on a daily basis. What is your take on them, especially having, gone through the traditional means?
Okay, so I'm happy that a new form of employment has come in, given the fact that the government does not give us jobs. It makes my heart glad anytime I see these online people spread on top of one bench and say, I just did it. They bought a new Benz, or built a new house. So what it does is it removes unemployment from that segment. And then, a lot of people are working, those camera guys, those who are acting and everything. It's an employment. But for me, I don't think it unseats another, it doesn't. Stand up is stand up.
Stand up.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
It's an old form of tradition.
Okay.
It came out from court gestry.
Okay.
So it is, there's nothing you can do about it. It's a form. Why for us or for some people, they might think, oh, this has come to me. It's because we're also getting used to the online presence. No, Nigerians really didn't. Once you have a 1 minute or 30 seconds, beyond 30 seconds, you're like, I beg, my data, my data.
I was
but
told.
very soon,
I was told.
very soon they'll get used to it.
Yeah.
It will be a form of communication. So you see it as one of those things. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't see it like that. I know the power of stand-up. And I know that a whole lot of those who do the online thing are not good in stand-up. Do you get what I'm saying? They will also admit to you that they are not good in stand-up, but they're only good with this. So I think it's just two genres of artwork, operating on their own. I don't think it stops anything.
Okay.
I mean, maybe because it has not affected my economy, but I just do my jobs.
So have people ever critiqued you on how you laugh before, or never?
On how I laugh?
On how you laugh, because sometimes people tell you like, oh, you laugh this way, or you smile this way, or you frown this way.
Yeah.
Who told you how you laugh?
Yeah. So most people applaud how I smile, but my laugh not that good. I dey cry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you
I dey cry?
Okay, take us out. Take us out. Take us out. How would you laugh?
Take you to where?
Somewhere. Somewhere. Okay.
I laugh till I cry. Please, I don't want to cry on screen. So
Okay.
I know. I laugh till I cry.
Okay. So if you were a single man, how would you toast a girl as a comic or as a single man if you were single?
Well, as a comic, I'll just make her laugh all through those. But then as a normal Lagos guy, I just say to her that you do like say, no, say you fine. Like down the crease. You fine, girls. You know, go bad, make people know they do for smoke or sit down somewhere.
Tegan has all the laughs. Keep on watching. It's the Tegan Show. Audience, are you having a good time? Yes! Let's go. So on Tegan, we talk about everything from Afrobeats to Nollywood to art, because art is life. Center comedian.
Yes.
What does art mean to you, and how do you impact people?
Oh, well, art for me is an expression of life. So it's your inner mode of communication that you try to interpret through any of the modes of art. Be painting, be poetry, whatever. It be drama, be movie. For me, I always say to people that if you need to affect the past, you touch a rock. So if you need to affect the future, impacting people. And so art directly impacts people. So we're talking about the future. So art is very futuristic. Art is about interpreting how life, unfolds in its sequence. That's it, basically.
Center comedian, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being resilient and for inspiring people.
Thank you.
For more of Center Comedian, make sure you check him out on social media at Center Comedian. The Tegan Show will be right back.
That's all.
This is The Tegan Show. Follow us on all our social media handles at Tegan Talk Show. Like, share, subscribe. Join the party now and weigh in on the conversation. What are you waiting for? Come on now.
Hi guys, my name is Joshua, 28-year-old, a chartered accountant, a graduate of insurance from the prestigious University of Lagos, a securities trader with investor capital management, covering asset classes ranging from Nigerian equities, fixed income instruments, currencies, and commodities. I am here on Tegan Show to share my story about how I've stayed resilient through the times, through the years, and how I've been able to end up in the world of finance, and even more importantly, as a securities trader. Please enjoy my story, learn from it. It can help you. Thank you.
With me here is Joshua. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Joshua, here's your profile. 28, Nigerian man, family of 5. You are the middle child. But you call yourself the black sheep of the family. What does this actually mean?
So for me, it's just by not going with everyone's expectations, but trying to forge my path. understanding what makes me fulfilled, stay fulfilled, and live fulfilled. So it's about understanding what makes me happy, really, as against just trying to tick another person's boxes. But understanding how I can create value from myself, value that will impact my world, impact my immediate family, and change Nigeria, really.
Fulfillment is important.
Yeah.
Being happy is important.
Yeah.
But you and I can say that being a man, being African, you
Yeah.
can't just ignore those opinions
Yeah.
and ignore those perspectives. For you, your parents wanted you to be an accountant,
Yeah.
and you love the world of numbers, the world of
Yeah.
finance.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to go into accounting.
Yeah.
You wanted to be a trader.
Definitely.
So how do you juxtapose both, like, perspectives, your perspective and the perspective of your parents, to forge your own path?
Okay, so for me, it's more of a journey. When I turned 7, my dad wanted me to. I told my dad I wanted to become the next central bank governor. So, and from there, he had always tailored my path such that I am in line to become that. However, there's one thing in economics, we call it scale of preference. As we grow older, our preferences change. So along the line, my preferences changed. So then it was heavily invested in me becoming that kind of person. So got into school, tried to do economics, didn't get through. Was doing accounting at the time. Started my professional qualification journey. And along the line, I got clarity. For me, it was a turning point that meant a lot of sense. I identified purpose, what makes me think, what the kind of clear thought pathways that the world of investments, the world of finance can create, and how it can change my generation and help me even create a legacy that I'll be remembered for. So at that time, it was more of a thing of, why don't you stay as an accountant? Interestingly, a church accountant.
Wow.
A church accountant. So I had to take that quick detour, explore the world of investments, understanding various asset classes, such that you'll be able to understand how money can be committed to them and value can be created from them to bring about creating wealth that transcends generations.
You can have a goal,
Yeah.
you can have a destination,
Yeah.
but you need to be very creative
Definitely.
with getting there.
Definitely.
You have a passion for finance.
Yeah.
You've had, an investment banking internship.
Yeah.
There was a mismatch for that. You went into fintech.
Yeah.
You did your time there, and now you're into security trading.
Yes.
So many men believe that this is their goal, this is the only way forward, and that's that. But you are more flexible and innovative with getting to your goal and being there. What is your advice for people, especially men that have bills to pay, have big ideas, but maybe very much strict with how they get there?
Yeah. So, it's very prevalent in current times where people get to stay rigid to what they believe works. However, when they begin to experience various disruptions that is happening and is still even currently happening, they begin to think towards switching. There's a principle in economics that says, whatever you do, it's more like it's something not being an end in itself. So don't allow your set goals to be most times it's not even an end in itself. What if preferences change? What if you don't like the world of law, the world of accounting, the world of finance? It's too rigid for you to explore. I love to be very creative, whereas, you tell me these are the set rules, and I think through those rules and I'm like, I can creatively introduce something new that can change the odds. So if I can do that, definitely I should be flexible enough to take that quick detour to get to my end. So definitely, I'm not saying what I am currently doing as an end in itself, but being flexible enough to take a quick detour and still get to my desired results. And at the end of the day, I still find a sense of fulfillment along the line.
I think it's also important to plan for the beginning and the end.
Of course.
And one thing that I know now that I wish I had in my life was sort of male mentors to tell me that you can do whatever you want to do with your career.
Yes.
When you think of your life and reflect on it, do you wish that you had those male mentors to tell you that, Joshua, the world is your oyster and do what you want to do?
Yes, definitely. If I had mentors, definitely there would have been some mistakes I made that I would have avoided. There would have been some introduced new pathways that I could think about things in a more better light, such that I'll be getting closer to my goal faster. But right now, it's not bad that I'm forging the path alone. Fine, it's a very lonely walk, but I still get to do what I have to do, make those mistakes. Those mistakes makes me tougher, makes me a more better person, improves the quality of decisions, such that going forward, I have the will, I become so resilient to achieve. I become so resilient to my goals. I am focused, I am neck deep to achieving it. So, and for me, I don't really see it as a setback that there were no too many mentors. Even right now, when you even look at the workings of the society, there are more people that really have, there are more people that want to help the female folks than the male folks. So now the dynamics of the society has changed. So right now, having a mentor takes me closer, but that I don't have doesn't mean I regret it, but I think I enjoy it.
But I hear that you are now, like, you have a younger sister.
Definitely.
And now you tell her that you can do whatever you want to do.
Of course.
From your experience.
Of course. So, because in my family, what I say is, I see it from different angles, and I like to learn from weird things and even inanimate objects. So if my brother is taking his own path, he's the first child, he's taking his own path. It's either I fall in line or I create mine.
Okay.
So now I've come to create mine. I've gone against the horde.
Yeah.
So I might not be doing anything related to sciences, but the fact that there's an opportunity for her to come create another, it's an highway. I should not be limited to just staying behind somebody I should not be limited, but I should be able to always come out, take mine. Funny enough, there's an opportunity to overtake. There's an opportunity to overtake. And everyone will all get to our desired destination. All just that matters now is, okay, how fast will I get there? How will I get there? But so long as we are moving, we are all right.
Thank you, Joshua, for being on.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
On the next Tegan, we have
Damilola Ogunsi.
You are an albino. I want to know, what was life like growing up? All this and more only happens on Tegan. Whew, what a day. Keep on going, keep on persevering, regardless of what's going on. Thank you all for following us, and don't forget, stay tuned for more of Tegan. Before we go, I hear that, OJ, you have a song for us, and you feel so inspired by today's episode, so take it away.
Okay, let's do this together. With the power of Tegan Show, we can make it bubble softly. We can do the jamboree, lullaby groovy samba, with the power of Tegan Show, now I know it got. No, but a man no fit liquidate. Everything is on site, no. With the power of Tegan Show, we can make it bubble softly. We can do the jamboree. Lullaby groovy samba, with the power of Tegan Show. Now I know it gas, no, but a man no fit liquidate. Everything is on site, no. Entertainment, everybody say Tegan Show. God say Tegan Show. Dramatic, Tegan Show. Nollywood, Tegan Show. Anything where you find Tegan Show. Entertainment, Tegan Show. Everybody make we link on Tegan Show. Everybody make we link on Tegan Show. Entertainment, everybody Tegan Show. I say dramatic, Tegan Show. Everybody make we link on Tegan Show. And everybody make we link on Tegan Show. Entertainment, Tegan Show. Tegan Show, Tegan Show, Tegan Show, Tegan Show, Tegan Show, Tegan Show. No. I say dramatic, Tegan Show. Everybody make me link up, Tegan Show. Power of Tegan Show. Anything where you want, Tegan Show. Anything where you find, Tegan Show. Entertainment, Tegan Show. Oh, dramatic, Tegan Show, 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 Tegan Show. Tegan show, Tegan show, Tegan show, Tegan show, Tegan show.